you remember that they are changing my voice. So in Revelation 9:20, it makes it clear that people's mistake is that they didn't stop worshiping demons. They didn't repent. They didn't stop worshiping idols made by their hands. The easiest way to describe this is in terms of the Freemasonic mistake. Freemasons believe in the self-direction of humanity, right? They believe in following the governing class and, being in secret societies and following their direction. Their direction is sexual. Their direction is pseudo-scientific, if you will. They adjust things as needed. They fabricate evidence, and they want people to swear by what the scientists report. Scientists who are historically lying all the time for various reasons, they're historically Eurocentric. And the governing class is like Judeo-European, they're whites, they're Jews, they're LGBT people. And then there's some token minorities among them for various reasons. You might consider Harry's wife, for example, to be a token minority among them. You might consider Oprah. It gets a little confusing when it comes to who exactly is making the calls, but for sure their culture is kind of agnostic, satanic Jewish. It's also agnostic, satanic white, and it's agnostic, satanic LGBT. And, a lot of them are in the church and so on and so forth, and they believe in playing their positions. Okay, so they didn't stop following what Masons have made, right? Masons build things, houses, idols, statues, what have you. They build societies. They build families and nations. Okay, and the word free goes back to the word liber, which is another name for Dionysus or Bacchus, who's a deity of ritual madness, the grape, the harvest, religious ecstasy, rape by deception, chaos, sexual control. Okay, he's considered a young Zeus, and Zeus is concerned with a social order that's formed for the purpose of making it easy to trick women into bed, like a boss tricks a secretary, right? Secretaries are play on words for secret eros, secretaries. Eros being a deity of erotic desire, fake love, pagan love, what have you. So to keep it very simple, people didn't stop worshiping demons. They didn't stop cheating me out of my right to lead. That's the pinpointed mistake. Okay, so if you want to learn, for example, some kind of martial art, you go to that martial art teacher. And martial arts are lifestyles. If you want to learn how to serve God, you'd have to go to me, the top martial arts ever possible, monotheistic. No one has a viable counter-argument. See my Proof on Christ playlist. I'll put the link in the comments, or find it on my Persecuted by Racist channel. And go to the playlist. I have maybe like 20 or 30 playlists, but if you look, you should find it. Sometimes I scroll over it and I have trouble finding it, and I go back. I'm going to say, oh, there it is. Okay. So when we look at Revelation, what happens to them? Revelation 14, what happens as a result? Now, Revelation has 22 chapters. Okay. So Revelation 14 isn't the last chapter. In Revelation 14, however, it says that those who accept the mark of the beast will be tormented in front of Christ and his angels forever, in the presence. Okay? I'll be in the face of their souls. Okay? My soul will be in their face saying, why did you cheat me out of my right to lead? So a lot of people don't understand. They say, why does God allow this, this, and this? Life is a test. And when you fail, you're going to cook forever with God's angels and me, and you'll face the greatest warriors that ever lived. People who are man enough to put God first and to be willing to die on the drop of a hat for God's will in the divine order. People who are man, God made man in his image. The devil made a bitch, a sniveling rocker, a corporate worm, hypocrites, what have you, in his image. Cultivation, cult and cultivation. So the greatest warriors and their spears in your face for eternity while you cook, while the people you led astray cook. It might be friends, family, your nation, what have you. When you consider the seriousness of the crime, 9 million people starve to death and die of hunger-related issues every year, and countless other people, millions of other people, tens of millions of other people die from other preventable deaths. And there's a domino effect. The foolish builders are forming people over generations. For all you know, trillions of people could die horrible deaths in the future before mankind goes extinct. For all you know. So how serious is your crime? When you don't believe in God enough to put God first, you think that you have one life to live and you're going to ruin life for everyone just to be a selfish, conformist worm? How much do you deserve to suffer? A whole lot, according to your deeds. And for how long? Forever. Because you have judged to cheat people with what you perceive to be forever. You've judged to cheat people out of their one life to live. You've judged to not scramble to do what is precisely right. You've judged to be a selfish worm and to profit from the pain of other people. You are a sexual sadist, like the devil in his sexual sadistic spirit, as the pleasure centers of the brain are connected. The devil is a horny devil, a mass murderer. He derives pleasure, including sexual pleasure, from being a selfish dog, as do you people when you cheat me out of my right to lead. And you have no viable counterargument. The overwhelming logical assumption to the agnostic is that I'm right. The sound conclusion to the smartest people that ever lived is that I'm right. They know that I'm right. And they go beyond everyone else. They go beyond the Buddhists, the atheists. They go beyond, every other type of monotheistic person. They go beyond the agnostic, everyone. Look at people carefully. People these days believe less than ever. And they are more pitiful than ever, including in the churches. Think about the implications of that. They look like Dumb and Dumber these days in a trance. And their lives are lame and boring. And their relationships are corny and evil. Think about it.